Hello again and welcome to the weekly update for cryptocurrencies. So let's kick off with which I think is the kind of benchmark chart to look at, which is the an ETF for Bitcoin, not Bitcoin itself. It's the Bitcoin Investment Trust, GBTC, primarily because this is the only thing I can actually find on stock charts, but also because I think this is smoothing out because of the fact that because it's an ETF, it's going to be buying Bitcoin on a cost averaging basis, meaning that should smooth out somewhat all of the volatility of the currency itself. So let's recap here. We had a nice start, stepping up, then it got a bit of ahead of itself, but corrected nicely, stayed above the 40-week, and then moved on. Let's just make sure that trend line is still intact. And it's a fairly decent trend now, getting on for being a year old now, which is just the longer the stronger. So something like that. Hopefully back to like May 2017. So it's a pretty strong line. It bounced right off of it and carried on. So that's just healthy bullish action. You can't hover around here forever. What we want is nice, sustainable and orderly advance. So after this rational exuberance here, got back, bounced up, and now let's see what happens next. All is according to the big picture. Then this is very much still bull market for I think cryptocurrencies generally, but you can see specifically Bitcoin there. Here's the day-to-day chart of GBTC, and then we can see that correction here, and really is picture perfect how it bounced off of the 200-day there, the same thing as the 40-week, and then carried on. But what's happening now is that, as you see, it's turned away from that 50-day. And as I mentioned last week, it wasn't quite out of the woods yet. And what's going on here is, as I've been saying for a while, all these people who bought up here for this higher price and have been to hell and back, it's called the dumb money, and they're looking to offload their positions in a panic because they didn't like what just happened. And that's what's happening now. You're entering this selling pressure zone. This isn't so much a sort of line of support and resistance, I think, as sometimes it can be a zone, and it's around sort of 17 to 20 is the kind of zone of support and resistance here. So this was, it bounced above it, and then you can see so much activity going on in this area, which I think represents, give or take, kind of the 10,000 mark for the value of Bitcoin. It's currently, as I'm reading the screen, at 9694. And so what appeared to be a psychological barrier to get above, when it dropped below it, it's now another important thing to get back above it. There's obviously a lot of people who are going to say, as soon as it gets to 10,000, they're going to dump their positions, whatever. And that's what you're going on. It needs to work off this overhead supply. And it may bounce around in this zone for a little bit longer, may even come back down here, who knows. As long as it stays above that 200-day, then all is well. I did mention this was a good buy point down here, and it will be again if it comes back there. So I think what we're looking for next is a rise above 20 on the GBTC. Let's check in with the league table. Bitcoin is still in the lead. It's extended its lead. Ethereum was catching up a little bit, and it's now double Ethereum, which is historically what it was. I think Ethereum's more exciting, but Bitcoin is more well known. It's the more retail version. Ripple still kind of where it was in third place comparative to Ethereum. Bitcoin Cash is really a spin-off of Bitcoin. The big move, as I mentioned last week, is Litecoin. Litecoin has got up there into that position. And let's look at the app, Stockfolio app that I check in on. Here it is. It's actually, I can see charts of everything here. There is Bitcoin, so bouncing along nicely there, and Ethereum. This one, as I've been mentioning, the uptrend is very much intact here, and it didn't really pose much of a challenge of 200-day. That's why I'm getting I have been more bullish on Ethereum. Here's Ripple. It bounced off nicely, and it's chugging along well. And there is Litecoin, the big mover. And what we see here is that nice sort of short-term uptrend there, really going on there. Litecoin is definitely looking good. Stellar, one that I mentioned to you before, and there's a nice sort of line of support carved up here. Never posed a challenge with 200-day, and that artificial intelligence newcomer KuCoin just hanging in there, holding well. So all is going well after that correction, and it's not too late for sure to get your now's a good time, because it's going this thing is going to go back again. to change up some money for Bitcoin Cash, if it's the one you want to get into BitClub network, as I suggest you do. Here it is. One thing just to mention, you can go into, you've got like resources, you can go here and you can collect these marketing tools, and you get these landing pages, and these are like ready-made videos. But you see, here's your sponsor, Bits and Pieces. When you're going here to sign up, you need that sponsor name, Bits and Pieces, and that's I'm your sponsor. There it is again. So you can see this is unique to me. So I can have traffic divert to this web page address here, and anyone who goes there and signs up to BitClub Network will be attributed to me, and that's what you want to happen. You want to be other people's sponsors, and you want to make sure that they go. And there's a choice of landing pages here. Landing page 1, see, and 2. You can choose any one. Each one has got this unique domain name. Now it's best to buy a domain name for just $8 or whatever, and have traffic, because that's not easy for people to remember unless it's in an email. Of course, they just click on it and set up domain forwarding. But the important point is you've got all these great tools. You don't have to be doing any selling. You're interested in Bitcoin mining, buying a share in a mining pool, then go to this address, and they're going to go to you once you've bought your shares in the mining pool. Remember, it's not enough to just get the $99 membership. You've got to buy some shares in the mining pool. I suggest the GPU mining pool because that gives you a chance at Ethereum as well. There's different levels for all budgets, but don't delay on this. I think you're going to be sorry you missed this in a few years. And it's the little things as well. Just you can just in conversation, just talking about this is a conversation that's going to be increasing in volume, and you will now have a place to send people to. This is like a ready-made business. Remember, you don't have to send people to your webpage to make money. You can just make money just by sitting in your armchair and just sitting on your shares of the mining pool that you've bought. And I think that'd be a good thing to do. This is just extra money. You're going to make money from other people referring you as well. So that's really all I'm going to say about cryptocurrencies this week. So watch that 10,000 level, and I will speak to you next time.